You know, 86% of your satisfied customers never say a word that they may not be so satisfied. That's also a staggering amount of people. That's a huge percentage in any business. You know what? When you get a fax on a fax machine saying, I have canceled your service, it's pretty hard to get them back. But when you get a phone call saying, I'm thinking about canceling your service, it's a golden opportunity to save the account. And most people at the frontline level aren't empowered with the tools, with an arsenal full of tools to be able to effectively handle that and save those accounts. 86% never say anything. You know what? When a customer called me and said, Bob, I want to cancel, I'm like, thank you for calling me. It's almost a question of, you know, this is like wonderful. I didn't get a fax today. I got a phone call. I have a chance. And a lot of people tell me that some of these are not avoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. And I disagree with you. Not using system, false alarms. We just talked a little bit about what the consumers themselves said about it. You heard it right from the horse's mouth. How about unhappy with service? Ooh, that one hurts. One that hurt me the worst was switching to competitors. And I think you feel that pain too. Lack of information, communication. Hey, I never heard from that salesman after he signed the contract. Nobody ever called me. All I did was get your bill every month, and I paid it. I had no relationship. You know, when that happens and something goes wrong, it's nearly impossible to resolve it. If you've got a relationship in place and your frontline team knows properly how to speak with people, a problem can happen and you're significantly better armed to resolve it in an amicable fashion and keep that customer. Moved within market. I love that one. I hear that all the time. Well, it's a move. He moved. There's some really Bob kind of relocated. That costs in your market. Nothing. Yeah, but he moved. Absolutely nothing. And it can bump it up in the 50s and 60s and 70 percentile. And it's all about being creative. It's creative ingenuity. Satisfied customer base. But you have to have the relationship. Turning them into delighted customers, I call C.A.R.E. Some people called it, customers are really everything. There's all these catchy little phrases. I call it creative account retention empowerment. So real quick, let's go through this. Conscientiousness, accountability, relationship, enthusiasm. 4 words. 4 simple words. Who can tell me what conscientiousness means? Hearing them. Correct. Actually, that's pretty good. The literal translation is with knowledge. Conscientious. With knowledge. We know what we're talking about. They don't. We have to have the ability to conscientiously, with knowledge, explain to them how something works, what a policy is, why they should be our customer. Who can think of another word that starts with C that might fit on that board? Courtesy, good. How about another one? Sorry? Conscious? Like awake? That's very helpful. Courteous, yes. How about communication? How about this one? Is every customer the same? Is every problem the same? How about creativity? We have to be somewhat creative in how we deal with people. Let's go to A, accountability. Whoa, hold on, that's a big word I don't want nothing to do with. That word is missing in a lot of society today. You know why? Because it's always the other guy's fault. It's his fault. It's not my fault. We didn't do it, sir. Accountability is missing. Well, how about if you have the ability to not accept responsibility for something that's not your fault, but help your customer take it off his plate and say, you know what, it's not our fault, but I'm going to help you fix it. How much does that really cost you? Keep in mind, we're talking about $30 for every dollar you lose. How about another word that starts with A? This is a big one that is missing big time. The word I'm thinking of anyway. Attrition, yes, that's bingo. Accessibility. Press 1 for service, press 2 for installation, press 3 for this, that, blah, 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 all the way up to 9. 3 minutes later, you press 9, you get somebody's voicemail. And hopefully, they're going to call you back. This is what your customers have become accustomed to when dealing with people. And you know what? We're all customers ourselves. We all know this to be true. There's nothing more frustrating than getting on the phone and going through voicemail hell, ultimately to leave a message and your calls aren't being returned. Accessibility is crucial. We can't always be there. I'll admit, you have to have voicemail or you have to have somebody be able to take a message, but you have to return the call. This now, just returning phone calls, is going to the realm of exceeding expectations. Today is the very best time, probably in history, to take advantage of that. Let's think of a relationship. People who have relationships tend to be loyal to them. You have to earn a relationship. But once you have one, it's kind of an emotional bond, isn't it? If it's a tangible relationship, in many customers' eyes, some of those people in those focus groups were saying they're longing for that. And when you can emotionally bond somebody to your company, it's very difficult for anybody to ever take them. And it's very difficult for them to call somebody else when they move within your market. And it's very difficult to lose them over a problem that you have an opportunity to resolve. Who can think of another one that starts with R? E. Enthusiasm. Okay, we're all customers, so let's try this. You're calling up, and the person on the other end of the phone says, "BC Alarm Company, please." It's funny, but it's not a very funny joke because this is happening all over, and it's happening to all of us. Don't ever let it happen in your company. Enthusiasm. Good morning. Thank you so much for calling. How may I direct your call?